available here at the GIC. Before the talks begin, please make sure your cell phone has been turned off or switches to silent mode. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know a lot about foreigners living in Korea? This lecture will introduce the Jeolla Safety Alliance and talk about the tourism community within Gwangju. Also, our speakers will be informing us how to report crime in Gwangju. Today, Haegyoung Lee, a police officer at Gwangju, will be informing us of how foreigners can be safer in Gwangju and surrounding areas. After that, Nancy, a member of the Jeolla Safety Alliance, will also give a short speech to introduce our group and review some problems for foreigners living here. Now, Mrs. Haegyoung Lee will begin her talk and title Guide to Better Life in Gwangju. Let's give her a big hand.
Hi everybody.
Hi.
It's very hot, isn't it? Yes. I'm warm and hotter than you guys because I'm Thai and beautiful, and it's nice to meet you. Today I'm very glad to be here, and my name is Haegyoung. Just call me Monica. It's my English name. I thank you first of all to GIC leader Dr. Shin and staff members for inviting me as the GIC Talk speaker. And I thanks for the Maria, Nancy, Leah, and Joey for preparing for this GIC Talk material. I'm the police officer from Gwangju Police Station. Do you know where is the Gwangju Police Station? Yes.
I do.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, to your please.
I'm in charge of foreign affairs section, so I'm here for foreigners. And you know what? The most people who I meet for the first time, they don't think that I'm the police without the uniform. You know what? My image is very far from the powerful police image, so I think so. So I'm here to make a speech in front of you with uniform. So to show I'm the real police. Yeah. I will introduce a little bit of myself. This is contest to make a speech in this talk. It's good photo. A little bit makeup. Yes, it's my private photo and it's my private story. I was born in Changseo. Do you know Changseo?
Yes.
It is very famous for Hongryong. It's nearby Gwangju. And I have lived in the countryside. And then when I was fourth grade in the elementary school, I have moved to Gwangju. And then I have lived in Gwangju for a long time. This is a photo when I was 6 years old at the birthday party in the kindergarten with my mommy in 1984. Do I look so cute? Right? When I was young, I was very shy and very calm and cried a lot. So at the time, I have dreamed of becoming the part of a police. I don't know why, but now I'm the police. Wow, I grew up so fast. This photo at the graduation ceremony at the Jeonnam National University in 1997 with my best friend. My major was geology. Do you know what geology?
Yes.
Maybe geology is about studying about the earth. Very, very interesting major. So I liked my major, but at the time I was very interested in studying English. So I joined the English Talking Club, which is called EAT, and I have learned English a lot. And I too broadened my English abilities and way of thinking. At the university, I went to Australia. This is Melbourne. Have you ever been to Melbourne? No. It's very beautiful country. It's beautiful scenery. But you know what? It's a kind of a very funny and my shocking story. The first day on arriving at the airport in Sydney, I was very shocked at the Australian English. I didn't understand at all. So I was very frustrated with this situation because very Australian English very strong accent. You know what? At the time at the airport, I tried to find out my gate from Sydney to Melbourne. I didn't know where is my gate. So huge space. And then one guy told me that like this, guide 8. So I didn't know. It's a gate is guide and number 8 is 8. So wow, I was so shocked at the Australian English, but as time goes by, I accustomed to Australian because little bit different accent, but English is the same. So I like the expression "burai." Do you know "burai"? Yeah, good day. Have a good day. So I like Australian English, and it was great opportunity to have experience with different culture in different language. Okay. Oh, just I'm little nervous, so I forgot very important things. It's over there. We have some gift for you. I have 5 or 6 puppies for you, and if you have a right answer, I give you some gifts to you. So listen carefully. I hope so. And then in 2000, I became involved with the police. The reason why I chose the police as job, the police uniform looks cool to me at the time. But after I entered into the police, I realized that the police job is very hard and very stressful on a woman because a lot of night duty and very strict boss, direct strictly, and a lot of work to do. But you know, as time goes by, I have accustomed to my job and I'm enjoying because I have a very good co-workers to help me out. So, because from my work, I can meet various people and can get to know our society, our life from a lot of people. So it's my police history, and I'm gonna tell you a very strange, a little shocking episode, 3 episodes to you. It's very funny, but it was very sad to me. The first is that when I work at the police box, you know the police box nearby the police station have a lot of police box. So when I work at the police box, one day it's raining day. This one lady, one lady came in the police box and said like this, "I don't like the police." And then all of a sudden, I was slapped in the face without any reason. So I was, At the time, I almost blacked out. So I didn't think of anything. But after that, we realized that the lady is insane. It's a mentally disabled person. So, you know what? In the police box, we have a lot of guests. But especially in rainy days, in the night, we have very insane people, insane guests, and at night, drunken guests. Do you understand what I mean? Yes. At the time was very sad, but now you are thinking of a very funny story. And the second strange episode is that when I work at the Incheon, I have been working at the Incheon International Airport. At the time, I was escorting some international VIPs to visit Korea. The police have a duty to escort the VIP, but at the time, all of a sudden, I was helped with a lot of eggs by the protesters. So me and my co-workers was pelted a lot of eggs, so we took a shower with eggs on the face. So we are make a fun story. How about taking a massage on the face with eggs, like that? Yes. But the last one is a very strange episode to my police history. When I work at the Gwangju airport, at the time it's not my foreign affairs section. Just my job is to arrest and charge with a criminal, and I used to arrest and charge with one guy charged with assault. And when I arrested him, he said to me like this: "Are you arresting me? And do you want to die?" Like this. It's kind of I was so threatened. At the time, I was scared. But next to me, my co-workers helped me out. So from these three very strange episodes, I'm very thanks to my friendly co-workers. So I can be here because of my co-workers' help. You got it? Yeah. So first piece. Where do you think this area? It's a public space. It's not the Gwangju. So just raise your hand. I'm gonna. Okay. All right. Okay. Clap your hands. Thank you. Is pumpkin is very easy or very hard to you? This is area is Incheon International Airport. In 2005, I have been working at the Incheon Airport for 2 years because I have chosen for English interpreter police at the Incheon Airport. I have moved to Incheon from Gwangju to Incheon. So, very sad story. Here's my cookies, and we are split up, for 2 years. So, it's very great opportunity to my job, but to my very lovely 2 kids, I'm always, sorry to my 2 kids. And then, when I work at the Incheon Airport, I could meet a lot of international people from all around the world. I could experience a lot of cultural differences. And then, you know what? Frankly speaking, this space is not clean environment as I know. you know what? There is no window at all. Maybe you know that, this kind of environment. So me and my coworkers, a lot of workers who work at the Incheon airport, they have some kind of difficulties to work at the airport because there is no window and there's so a lot of people. Sometimes we cannot breathe at all. Because my working area, do you know, is a security checkpoint. So every time I was supervisor of security checkpoint, so that area is a security area. So many people, and sometimes we cannot breathe. But even though it's not good environment, but I was satisfied with that working at the airport. Okay. And then in 2010, do you know G20 Summit will be held in Seoul? Maybe everybody knows that. I was the liaison officer at G20 Summit, the police liaison center in the police agency Seoul, and I have worked at the liaison center here. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. It's the first time, so a lot of mistakes, but understand me. This area is a police liaison center. During the G20 summit, we collect a lot of important information from all around the world and share information to escort the VIPs from the G20 countries. And it was great. It was a great experience to me. Okay, it's my private story and my lovely two kids, and from you guys, Yeowon and Jumbo, and it's a second puppies, just two Koreans, not Korean. What do we call this dress? Do you know? It's for the foreigners puppies. Oh, okay. Could you speak Hanbok? Right. Thank you. It's very easy one to Korean, but the foreigners maybe, most of Korean maybe don't know this dress. Korean traditional dress is called hanbok. It's very beautiful. And I am, the reason I can be here, I always thanks to my husband over there, cameraman, and then to my lovely two kids, because he helped me out, and always my kids, they understand, even though their mother always busy. So I'm very thanks to my lovely two kids. And then it's now to explain and introduce my work, the foreign affairs sections. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm reading this material. Frankly speaking, it's very great opportunity to make a speech in front of you, but I don't have enough time to prepare for GIC Talk because a lot of work to do in the police job. So I'm gonna reading out a material, not to make mistakes. This is one of my foreign affairs work is to inform the migrant woman about the Korean law and such as kind of the Korean law about domestic violence and the traffic rules and some kind of Korean new laws. So, Donggu Police Station offer various the service to foreigners. First, this is a crime prevention education for foreign residents in Gwangju. But I'm the only person, just one person to take care of foreign affairs. So I always so busy with this job. So I need your big help to the foreign residents. So maybe today I have expected a lot of foreigners, but maybe because of very hot weather, so they are maybe staying at home, I think, or to go out to somewhere else. But the foreign residents in this place just tell my story to your foreign friends. I hope so. So I informed the people about the criminal laws and past cases. The foreigners could fall victim of crime to prevent crime. So after this education, most of migrant women were satisfied with my education because they didn't know the Korean law at all, and they didn't know what is the domestic violence, because migrant women are very subject to be a victim of domestic violence. So maybe you know what is the situation, and so we second with counseling the services with the help of a translator to assist the foreign residents related with the law and other problems foreigners. And this is the GIC, it's our Donggu Police Station's help desk. So if you have any problems and some difficulties, just come and see GIC or Donggu Police Station at Foreign Affairs Section, and or to my email, to my the phone. I'm always ready for you guys. One of my mistakes today, I have prepared a lot of flyers to you, but you know, I have left this flyer on my office, so I'm very sorry to you. It's not easy to read out very small letter, but this is about newly established punishment for minor offenses from March 22nd, 2013. Maybe most of Korean doesn't know exactly. But it's about, you know, maybe you should these 4 cartoons. It's very small letter. Maybe you cannot read out. So what is that? This is drunken man. Yeah, this is police officer. So this is about any person who is found drunken, not only drunken and disorderly behavior, you know, very kind of a riot to police officer may liable to pay fine. The fine is very fine will be 600,000 won. Maybe I think so. Foreigners need to new Korean law, so I made these flyers. And the second one is about the stalking. Maybe you know the stocking? Okay. And the third one is illegal distributing flyers. So any person who distribute flyer and then insert weekly on account without permission shall be liable to fine 100,000 won. Okay. Last one is kind of begging, not just begging and disturbing the person on the street. So if you any questions and after this talk, and then maybe you should ask me this about the flyer. Okay. So third part piece is to foreigners, so to Korean is okay. How much fine do we have to pay if we committed stock in Korea?
10만 원이요. Under 100,000.
Okay, thank you. So stocking in Korea is 10만 원. It's 100,000 won. Okay. This is about the. Do you know the Wiki3, the internet news? The flyer that I have made on the posted on the Wiki3 internet news. So a lot of people maybe can check it out. It's my the newly established the minor offices. And then this is flyers to foreigners, maybe a 4-month notification rule to the Immigration Bureau about the so-called illegal aliens. This flyer is about the originally illegal aliens. Maybe if the police find out illegal aliens, maybe we have to notify this case to Immigration Bureau. But if the illegal aliens are victims of some crime, we do not have to notify the case to Immigration Office. Do you understand what I mean? So maybe from this year, the kind of regulation is changed, so maybe you should know about this. So I prepared for this notification. And then some misleading letters and some what kind of the term, maybe after this talk, we will reproof this flyer, and then I'm gonna distribute the corrected flyers to you later then. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna explain the foreign resident population in Gwangju. In Gwangju, the foreign resident 14,324 residents in Gwangju. It's very the number of foreign residents is increasing so fast than we expected. And then the officer who take care of the foreign residents is not increased. So we have a lot of work to do. And in Donggu area, the number of foreign residents is about 1,700 foreign residents in Donggu area. And then it's we are fourth parties. Okay. This is the foreign residents population. The first, you know, they're Chinese. How about this? Our first parties. What country is the second largest population in Gwangju? Oh, Vietnam? Vietnam. Alright, it's a bingo.
Which
Yeah.
one?
Thank you. Yeah, second largest population Gwangju is Vietnam. And third, Filipino. Fourth, Uzbek, and others. And then, okay. I have checked out the crime against the foreigners last year in 2012. There was some crime against the foreigners. You know the photo? Maybe half of the crime against the foreigners is almost a theft and assault. And theft crime happens all around the area. So I think it's not a big thing. But in case of assault happens, you know, the area, especially, we call it in Korea, 구시청 사거리. How can I say in English? I don't know exactly. You know, how can I say? Do you know the? Is it downtown? Yeah, downtown. Downtown is the area. Do you know the English in 구시청 사거리?
drinking area.
Oh, really?
구시청 literally means old city hall area.
Okay.
There are many bars over here. Bar area.
Yeah, it's a big house, so after talk, I'm gonna give it some gift. Okay.
Your translation fee.
Yeah, so in case of assault happens in the drinking area, maybe you know the famous the street, maybe especially in that street a lot of assaults. So from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. So maybe be careful on the street by alone, on the street, just not by one, especially in women. So be careful. It's my tips. And then this next part is what is the next crime happens very often against the foreigners. Do you know? The other crime, maybe fraud. Do you know? Voice phishing, like this, yeah, kind of voice phishing, and so on. Embezzlement, kind of a fraud, and others. But why is this part? Do you know? Guess what? What kind of a crime is that? Maybe 15% of the crime against the foreigners in Gwangju.
Sexual harassment.
Sexual harassment. Oh, unlucky. No. Maybe others, including sexual harassment, but not many sexual crimes in Gwangju. Insult? How is that? 모욕죄, no insult in Gwangju against foreigners. Burglar? Murder. No murder.
Embezzlement is kind of murder, so the question mark is 폭행 같은 거 아닌가 싸운 거.
Okay, it's also.
Can we get a first letter hint? My students try this. I can see
You know, it's very tricky package, so it's gift two gifts, okay? So the first letter of this crowd is a T. Yeah, T. What? I can hear. Threatening. Not threatening.
I feel like
Maybe more like it's more like two men, not woman, but
What's the second spelling?
second spelling. I'm gonna hint you. Second spelling is just one gift. Okay. Second spelling is R. Okay.
Traffic?
Just raise your hand. The first. Okay.
Traffic?
Oh, right. Yeah. There are some traffic accidents in Gwangju, so be careful. The driving car, maybe you are the, you could be the criminal and you could be the victim. It's the traffic is very dangerous, So, yeah. So, I mean, this kind of crime, but not by foreigners, just I mean against the foreigners. So, and then this is the emergency info to foreign resident Gwangju. Yeah. Right. Okay, so not to Korean, just to foreigners publication. Sorry. Okay, so maybe first man who raise your hand, I'm gonna point that. What is the number? The fire and reporting fire or rescue. Raise your hand.
119.
Okay, bingo. Thank you.
Oh, he's Korean.
It's Korean.
Korea?
Because no one answered, I wanted to let you know.
911.
He's Korean.
911.
Korea?
No, 911.
911 is American.
911.
No, I don't think so. Maybe I think maybe even though you are Korean, but you don't look Korean, so
You put yourself out there, you need the answer.
okay. It's a lot of good information to you. Maybe if you are emergency, it's not easy to remember this emergency call. So maybe you should save this number on your smartphone. So it's the tips. So thank you. This is my story and our foreign affairs section's work. And even though it's very, I think it's not enough to make a speech in front of you for foreign residents. So I was very happy to prepare for this material for foreign residents. So thank you. If any problems or if you any difficulties and if you wanna be friends with me, just email to me. After talk, I give you my email address. Facebook. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
I'm just gonna kind of go quickly through my stuff so that you can be aware of who we are and what's going on. I'm from JSA, Jeolla Safety Alliance. Nancy Harkar. We started in October 2012. There were 3 of us who were founders on Facebook. Right now we have about 300 members on Facebook. We're looking to expand to having a website later on. But we are a group to share information about how to live safely in Gwangju and travel in Korea. And we want to be a liaison between immigrants and police. We're working with Monica to try to get more information for us in English and places where it's more accessible for us to be able to learn about things that happen to us. We're also talking about more information and idea sharing and not so much advocacy. We're not going to be working to change the laws. We're trying to tell you what the laws are and help you kind of navigate through what the laws are. Things that we want to offer to people who are victims of crimes in Gwangju. Referrals for therapy sessions to an English-speaking therapist. Also, referrals to legal help. Next, we want to help with some expenses as far as things of when people go to the hospital if they've been assaulted. There's expenses involved with the medical care, taxi fees, things like that. We'd like to help people with that. Again, referrals to a lawyer if they have any problems for that first referral to see what their legal options are. We want to go ahead in the future and book some speakers to come to town who are experts in different fields of self-defense, crime, things like that. And then maybe free samples of things or giveaways that are informational things to help you learn more about safety in Gwangju. We want to focus on awareness, make sure everybody knows. A lot of times when foreigners come over here, maybe it's their first time traveling and being overseas by themselves. I know Korea feels a lot safer than my hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. And maybe you don't know that things still do happen here and what things can happen. So we want people to be aware, yes, there is still crime here, it can still happen to you. It can also happen to everyone. A lot of times, women feel like, oh, we're the ones that crimes happen to. But when you're traveling and you're a foreigner and you're very obvious to people that you're away from home, away from your support system, things can happen to you too just because people think, oh, you're not connected, you don't know where to go. It's harder for you to call the police and get a support system. So it can happen to everyone. Also, education. We want people to learn how to be safer in Gwangju and in Korea, things they can do to help themselves. And help each other. You know, when we're out and about, being aware of when people might need help and not just keeping walk by, you know, make a community effort to watch out for each other. So, we have a local lawyer, Ducky Park, who's Korean, but he's very fluent in English, and he helps advise us and gives us information about crime statistics and also ways to be safer in Gwangju. So first, try to travel in groups with your friends, not to be alone, especially at night, obviously. Keep extra pairs of shoes in your foyer. This sounds strange, but you get deliveries from pizza people, the door-to-door church people. You open your door, they look down and see several pairs of shoes, or especially for women, if you have a big pair of men's shoes that are in your foyer, they're like, oh, they're not alone, they have friends. There are people who are here. If they want to try something, they maybe will go away and not try anything because they think you're not alone. So that was one thing he came up with. Be careful about leaving your windows open. Many buildings here in Gwangju, Korea have gas pipes and things on the outside of buildings that thieves can break in that way by climbing up those pipes. In Ilongdong, when we lived there, we had the code to get into the door downstairs, but apparently somebody had broken into the building by climbing up the building across the alleyway and jumping over to a hallway window someone had left open because they were standing there smoking. So they were able to get into the building that way, even though we had code. So the landlord ended up putting bars on those windows, but There's many places in Gwangju when your buildings are close or those pipes on the outside of the building, you don't realize people can get into your apartment still, even though you may think you're safe. One thing he said, this is a good culture point. If you're walking through a neighborhood with a bunch of new friends, try not to be too loud and draw attention. Sometimes that kind of behavior can seem threatening to Koreans, and it can draw attention to people that maybe you don't want attention from. Maybe people, especially on drinking street, who are already a little tipsy and are thinking, oh, I feel like fighting today. And then you draw attention to yourself. So he said this is another good thing, a culture point of, try and just be a little more quiet and don't draw that attention to yourself. Taxi safety was another thing that he went through with us. And basically, if you think about when you take a taxi, this is the time you don't realize you're interacting with a total stranger who is taking you somewhere. And you don't realize there's different types of safety issues with that it's good to be aware of. So one thing, if you're in an unfamiliar neighborhood and you need a taxi, sometimes it's good to keep a taxi service number and call them instead. Basically, the point is that when you call the taxi service, the dispatcher makes a record of that. They report which taxi comes to pick you up, where they picked you up at. There's a lot of information that is gathered about that particular person who is picking you up. If you just wave down a taxi on the street, you might not know if that particular person might be somebody who wants to do you harm. Note the license number before you get in the car. A lot of times I've noticed lately when I've started to become more aware of this, you get in, the picture on the license is not the person who's driving you, or the license isn't even there. It's covered by some fancy special dashboard light thing, and you can't see it. So you don't actually know whose taxi you're in. If there was a problem later on, you couldn't report what it was. So if you look at the license plate number on the outside of the car, that's really important to remember. Don't call for a taxi to pick you up or have them drop you off right in front of your home. If they decide later they want to come see you, they know where you live. So, have them drop you off a block away or a couple blocks away or in front of the G-Mart or something like that. If you get in a taxi and the driver's drunk and smells of alcohol, just get back out. Pretend you have a phone call. Sorry, phone call, gotta go. And try and do it in a way that's not offensive, don't yell, just remove yourself from the situation. Or if you realize that after the driver's taken off, ask them just to pull over, pay for how much you've used so far, and just get out when you can. If the taxi driver smells of alcohol, there's a problem with something, call 112 and report them, and they can get somebody to help you. If you have the license number. If someone offers you candies, you get a ticket, but don't eat it in front of them. There's many kind of taxi drivers who try to give me those little ginseng candies. And the lawyer said, do you eat it? Well, yes, I do. Okay, I have. It's like, don't do that. And I know you're a kid and they say, don't take candy from strangers, but you come to Korea and everyone's so nice and they're sharing with you. And so you can say thank you and just put it in your pocket and thank them, don't alarm them. These are things he said it's always important to have with you. Maybe in a pocket, separate in the wallet, something that if there is a problem, you should have it. So your own cell phone number. How many people don't know your cell phone number because you don't call yourself? Or you need it for tracking purposes. Say there was a problem, you lost your phone, and you had a problem downtown. The police can track your cell phone number and find the person possibly who did this to you. They stole it. Emergency contact number. If you have a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, friend you want with you and there's a problem, make sure you have their number written out somewhere. Also, if you have a co-teacher or somebody who's responsible for you or might help you, that's a great number to have separately to make sure you have it. The number of a Korean friend who speaks English. If you have a problem and you go to the police station, they may be able to find a translator for you, or it might take a little while. But if you are able to call someone who is a friend who is fluent in English and Korean, you have someone there with you who is there for you. And so they will help you through the process. The ones called by the police are there to help the police. So it's good to have someone who's an advocate who is there to just help you and make sure that you are okay and be taken care of. If there's a problem, if you're assaulted in any way, hurt, have to go to the hospital, even though it's part of a crime and you report it to the police, you still have to pay the money to the hospital. There's still taxi fare involved. Don't leave yourself high and dry not being able to pay for things because you don't have the money with you and you can't go to the hospital. The police do not reimburse you for these things. Crime information. In Korea, if someone is just arrested for a crime, it's not public knowledge. They will not post that information. They think that it would be giving somebody a bad image if they say they were arrested for something. So not until they are tried and convicted does it become public record and do you know, oh, this specific person assaulted this many people. So it's got to be tried and convicted before it's any public knowledge. If there's a crime committed against somebody, like they're assaulted, something like that, you can't find out any information about any of the cases, again, until they're tried, convicted, that kind of thing. Until it becomes public record, they won't give you any information. So with some of the people who call us with incidents that happen, we try to call back, follow up, get information from the police, but we can't because we're not the victim. They won't give us that information. So, and also something interesting that I didn't realize. In Korean law, there's basically the rule that if somebody assaults you or does something to you, if you answer back with more force than they did, you can probably get into more trouble. So if somebody shoves you and you punch them, you're going to get in worse trouble because you have escalated the fight. You have used more force than is necessary to end this altercation. So actually the lawyer said for guys, instead of getting in that fight and punching back, carry pepper spray and spray them instead and walk away. Because the point is, if you don't escalate it, if you don't participate in that fight and you walk away and then just report the person, they are still the one that's going to be in trouble and prosecuted for it. And you're not going to have escalated it and get in trouble for that. So those are some things that were helpful and interesting that we found out from the lawyer. What can you do if you want to be a part of JSN and help out with it? Forward us questions or articles on our Facebook group. We're always looking for ways to be safer, interesting things coming up, things on self-defense, or other things like that. Monica from the police department, Gwangju, she's looking for someone who can translate documents into English and help her proofread things on a regular basis. Did you say that there might be some small payment involved if they help proofreading?
Small payment?
Yeah, some kind of help for if they help you proofread or anything like that.
Just maybe in case of investigation, we have some the payments by the law, but that it's not influencer.
So there may or may not be help if you help her. It would help us, and that's the important part. If we have more things in English that we can get out to people, that's going to be much more helpful. We're looking for somebody to help us design just a regular website instead of just operating on Facebook. If you know somebody who would like to help us out with that, let us know. And if you have any ideas for activities or something to raise awareness, contact us on Facebook. And that is it. And that.
We'll begin the question and answer portion of the talk now. Could our speakers please come up here so I can interrogate you?
I didn't do it. It's not my fault.
We have a policewoman here in case you did anything at all. Okay, we are going to begin the Q&A portion of the talk now. If you didn't receive a piece of paper when you came in, you can raise your hand and one of our volunteers will give you a piece of paper for you to write your question on. They'll bring it up to me and I'll read it. Before we begin, the last thing I'd like to say is please do not raise your hand to ask a question directly. We prefer that you submit it in written format. And with that out of the way, first I have a question here for Monica.
Yeah.
How did your parents react when you decided to become a police officer?
My parents, frankly speaking, I was not into at the time. My father recommended me that how about becoming police. So So it's my big influence by my father. So always whenever I get stressed out and get some trouble with my job, always complain to my daddy. You know what? Because my daddy recommended me that the police job, because police job is very good for women. I realized that very stressful, very hard job to one woman. But anyway, I'm always thanks to my daddy.
Are there any other police officers in your family, or are you the only one?
Unluckily, my younger brother, he's also a policeman in Gyeonggi province.
Okay. And do either of your kids share your dream of becoming a police officer?
Okay, I'm asking to my daughter. 너나 커서 경찰관 되고 싶니?
I wonder why, but maybe you don't have to ask that. Okay. Now we have a question about the foreign population here in Gwangju. The population has been growing, as you showed. It's up to 14,000 and change. Of the most common types of crimes committed against foreigners, has any crime been increasing with that number?
You mean the crime against foreigners?
Yes.
Not by foreigners.
Yeah, crime against foreigners. Is there any specific crime that has been increasing with the numbers?
You know, basically, compared to other area, it's Seoul and Gyeonggi province, the rate of the crime in Gwangju is very lower than other parts in Korea. And to check out the crime against the foreign residents, most of the crime is made of just already I mentioned that it's just theft or assault. So I think maybe it's up to you, but it's not very high rate. So maybe it's our duty to prevent the crime against the foreign residents.
So maybe there's nothing exploding. Skyrocketing. Okay.
That's right.
Of the crimes committed by foreigners, what are the most common?
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
Sure.
Check it out. Okay, in Gwangju, crime by foreigners, the most horrible crime is assault. It's kind of fighting. But you know what? It's not a big thing because we check out the kind of what is the dangerous about the crime by foreign, but compared to other area, it's not higher. It's not higher than other areas. So.
Okay. Domestic violence is a big issue here. How do the police usually deal with domestic violence?
Okay. This year, we focus on it's four crimes, especially domestic violence, school violence, and sex crimes, and unsafe food. So we call them 사대사약. 사대사약 is so among the four special crimes is domestic violence. We focus on to prevent domestic violence. So as you already mentioned on the forum, we for migrant women who is very some to be victims. So we run up the crime prevention education. What is the domestic violence and how to report and how to respond that kind of emergency situation. So that kind of thing we are doing this.
Okay. Let's see. We have a question here about a foreigner getting arrested. If a foreigner gets arrested, how can you find that person's status and location? If you're a friend of them, how can you find them? What's a good number to call, and what information do you need in order to find your friend if you want to give them some assistance or help?
You mean the criminal's friend? Maybe basically the police when the police arrest some criminal, we at first we notify to their family, but in case of foreign residents don't have a family, then we notify to the close friend, not just friend, just close friend. Maybe we ask to the criminal, who do you want to notify the location and kind of information? So and then we call. Yeah.
So it sounds like the police are proactive in seeking out the next person related to. Okay. Let's see here. We have another question about calling or filing a complaint. Here it's when is it appropriate to place a complaint or to file a complaint against an employer? Is there a point when it becomes obvious that it should be done, or
File
a complaint against an employer? Say, for example, if an ESL teacher living here has a problem with an employer, are minor problems okay to report, or should it be massive things, or should it be a combination of things?
So maybe kind of unpaid wages problem. Maybe you should do the can I say so?
Ministry of Labor. Ministry of Labor.
Yes, it's Korean song. Yeah, Ministry of Labor. Yeah, at the case of Ministry of Labor, and then just the police cover, fighting between the employer and employee. There's related with the crime, not the unpaid wages and just not the small thing. But do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay. How many reports come in per week about foreigners? I guess this is asking, it's not exactly sure here, but how many reports do you get of crimes committed against foreigners in 1 week, usually? Is it a large number, or?
I'm the Donggu police officer, so before I prepare this talk material, I have checked it out. Just in case of a crime by foreigners, just 1 or 2 cases a month, not really. Yeah.
Okay. Here's an interesting question about traffic violations in Gwangju. It seems that a lot of traffic violations go unpunished, especially if a person comes from a place like the United States where the laws are pretty well enforced. It seems that here sometimes it's very easygoing if a person wants to break a lot of rules while driving. How do the police deal with that typically?
Actually, it's not easy to answer the question because I don't cover the traffic part, but it depends on you are satisfied with easygoing situation or very strict situation.
Yeah. Oh, personal? There is a freedom with driving in Korea that I appreciate because I can park liberally anywhere I want sometimes. But when I get surprised by someone else, then suddenly I become a little more draconian. I want the rules to be enforced. So I can change from moment to moment, and so can the traffic conditions change from moment to moment. I'm kind of in the middle.
Yeah. It's a little secret, but the Korean police officer is very friendly to foreigners. You know what? Yeah. It depends on situation because the reason why they don't know, they that they cannot speak English. The first reason, but you know what? The Korean police officer, most of Korean police officer, very friendly to foreigners. That's the point. Yeah.
Okay.
That's my tips.
All right. We have a few more questions just to wrap up about the Jeolla Safety Alliance. The first one is, how long has the JSA been in existence?
Well, it just started back in October 2012, so just last fall. So it's still fairly new, and I think first what we were trying to do is figure out what are the needs and what kind of information we need to get and how we can help people. And I think it was more, we figured out if we could at least get more information out there in English to kind of navigate different problems, then at least that would help people. So things that Maria's been working on, she had a videotape of the one-stop place at Chosun.
Yeah, the girl is finishing that up.
And it's going to actually walk you through in English how we go through the process if you have some kind of assault or a problem, how to find your way around. So we're looking at the resources we have and trying to convert those into a more easier to understand format for foreigners.
Okay.
Things like that.
All right, so it's still pretty new.
Right.
It seems like a fantastic idea and a really necessary idea also. Are lots of foreigners making good use of it?
Once we started this and we got some awareness on Facebook, it was really interesting to see how many people would start contacting us. Well, I had this problem like 6 months ago. What should I have done? And so I think it's interesting because it started a dialogue that people say, wait, this could have been a problem. Maybe this shouldn't happen, or maybe I should have handled it differently. How can I do this differently in the future? Also, it brought awareness for us about there's a lot of different kinds of situations. There's the migrant workers. There's, even among the English teaching population, you have people who work at universities. You have folks who work with EPIC, and you have folks who work with like academies. And all their needs and problems are very different from each other. So it's also finding people who can be contacts to tell us what are the issues that people end up running into and how can we help them navigate the culture better. Sometimes it's just a cultural issue. Oh, my boss wants me to drink a lot when we go out for parties, but I don't feel comfortable. How can I not do that? And how can I be safe doing that? Things like that.
Okay. All right, this will be our final question for the Q&A. Can you give us some general information about what types of calls you typically have gotten so far? What is the general nature of them so far? What do people usually complain about or ask for advice on most?
I think it's more dealing with the culture and dealing with things at work and different cultural things. Some people who work at academies work in a situation where they actually live in the building where they work, and how that can be a kind of strange situation, and also things like cultural things like drinking at dinners. And I don't drink, I don't like to drink, I might have drank too much and done something strange. So it's navigating a lot of how do I keep with the culture and not offend somebody, but knowing that I'm a foreigner who is dependent on my employer for my visa to stay in the country and, because of my job. So I think that's what we run into a lot of is how can I navigate things, not get in trouble with this Korean boss and not offend them so that I can keep my job.
Okay. All right. So that's the end of the Q&A portion of the talk. We'd like to thank our speakers again, and let's give them another round of applause.